Welcome to the Geico ESPN High School Showcase at the Spalding Hoop Hall Classic. 4 matchups today, beginning with Hudson Catholic taking on John Carroll. Some of the top players in the high school game have descended upon Springfield, Massachusetts, as has our recruiting nation set and our crew. Welcome inside Blake Arena. I'm Matt Schick. You know, it was a year ago at this time, at this very event, that we saw Marvin Bagley III and DeAndre Ayton dominate at the Hoop Hall Classic. Now they're doing the same at the college level at Duke and Arizona, respectively. Today, another sneak peek at the future stars. More than 20 ranked players taking the floor today, including 3 of the top 10 in the ESPN 100. For Montverde, the #1 overall player, R.J. Barrett. He is signed to Duke. For Oak Hill, Keldon Johnson, top 10 player, headed to Kentucky. Don't forget about University School, Vernon Carey Jr., #2 player in the junior class. And for Westtown, Cam Reddish, #3 overall player. He's headed to Duke. But we begin our 8 hours of coverage with Hudson Catholic and John Carroll. Great point guard matchup we'll see today. And our point guard and our shooting guard are courtside, Ted and Paul. Take it away, fellas.
Oh, Matt, thanks so much. We are strapped in. This is your 10th Hoop Hall Classic, I believe. You ready to go?
I'm all set, baby. 8 hours of hoop.
Let's start with that premier point guard matchup, Emmanuel Quickley and Javon Quinterly.
Emmanuel Quickley is a true point guard. At 6'3" with a 6'8" wingspan, he defends, distributes, and he makes open threes. He signed with Kentucky. On the other side, it's Javon Quinterly. He plays the game with great offensive confidence. I love his instincts for the game. He is, without question, one of the most skilled point guards in the game, and he is the top uncommitted point guard in the class of 2018.
Quinterly, the Gatorade Player of the Year in the state of New Jersey as a junior. Hudson Catholic in the white, John Carroll in the black. Our officials, Dan Shepardson, Brad Chernovitz, and Jim Luchansky. We take a look at our starting lineups brought to you by A.Paris Rescue Rooter. We've got 5 players ranked in the ESPN 100. Lewis King is one of them, 21st in the senior class. He's going to Oregon, and he starts off the scoring.
Lewis King with a beautiful basket cut. Nick Marinello, the head coach of Hudson Catholic, with that play from the locker room. Getting his best scoring player close to the rim. I love it.
Quickly with the jumper for John Carroll. Montez Mathis is John Carroll's leading scorer coming in. He's headed to Rutgers. Another pretty finish by King and a quick 4-0 lead.
How about the extension by Lewis King? 6'7", has a pro skill set. We saw that long reach to the rim.
A near 7-foot wingspan for Lewis King. Hudson Catholic coming off a big win on Saturday over the Patrick School, a team that we saw last year here at the Hoop Hall Classic, the reigning champion in New Jersey, the Tournament of Champions, such a prestigious tournament. Hudson Catholic won that one 67-59 over the weekend. Here is Quinterly bringing it up, guarded by Nigel Houghton at the moment. Nearly a steal by Montez Mathis, a scrum, and it's a tie-up.
Montez Mathis, 23 in the black, headed to play at Rutgers for head coach Steve Peichel, who's in the house. There's Coach Peichel. Big wins they've had against Seton Hall in Wisconsin. Steve Peichel doing an outstanding job trying to build that Rutgers program, quite frankly, back to respectability.
Mathis, the highest ranked recruit for Rutgers since 2010. Oh, we got a point guard matchup of Qs. Good thing we have a Q on our side. Quint Kesenik.
Yeah, Luther Muhammad's going to draw the Quickley assignment on defense. Muhammad from the mean streets of Newark, New Jersey. This is a kid who commutes an hour to school every day, takes a bus, takes a train. He said, I grew up in a bad environment, but I was lucky. I had a great mom, and that mom is Michelle Epps. She should be proud of his work in the classroom. He has gone from an average student to an honor student, and what you're going to see today is a relentless defensive approach. Watching him yesterday in practice, this is a kid who never takes a play off, plays with a smile, but his effort is unbelievable. He's headed to Ohio State as a top 100 player.
Now, Quint, he's a self-made player. No hype early in his high school career, and now going to the Big Ten.
Self-made and selfless. Chris Holtman's going to absolutely love him, a two-way player. How about the Buckeyes? Undefeated right now in the Big Ten. Chris Holtman, early Big Ten Coach of the Year, maybe.
Big win over Michigan State, #1 at the time last weekend at home. It's Hudson Catholic ball up 4-0 with 2 buckets by Oregon Duck signee Lewis King. John Carroll 12-4 on the year. They've won 3 of their last 4. Played their first 8 games without Emmanuel Quickly, who suffered from mononucleosis. Back in the lineup. And a steal.
He was open. Quinterly saw him just a second too late.
Nigel Houghton coming up with the steal for John Carroll. Hudson Catholic takes it right back. Danny Rodriguez to the rim. Lewis King on the follow. He's got all 6 in this first quarter. And John Carroll throws it away.
Lewis King, 6'8", 220, following the play. Gets that second chance point. Look at the Hudson Catholic team running down the floor with Rodriguez, anticipating the miss. Great job by Lewis King with the hustle.
King, known as somewhat of a late bloomer, he grew 4 inches in the last 2 years. Now standing at 6'8", and with a varied skill set.
Tremendous versatility. I look at Lewis King as a bucket getter because he can score it from the 3. He has a nice pull-up jump shot. We see him at the rim with the length, the strength to finish inside. He'd be tremendous coming off pin downs, back screens. He can score the ball with versatility from all 3 levels. His assist-to-turnover ratio has to improve.
Taking a closer look at Oregon's class, which right now ranks 2nd behind only Duke. Bol put on a show here yesterday at the Hoop Hall Classic for Findlay Prep. We'll see Will Richardson, also a top 40 player, coming up in our 3rd game for Oak Hill.
4 top 100 prospects for Oregon. Dana Altman's done an outstanding job recruiting at a high level. Right now they have the nation's #2 class.
King missing it, going reverse side, but it'll stay at this end. Last touch by John Carroll.
When we saw the graphic of the Oregon class, 2 5-star players, Bol and Lewis King. That's a lot of talent coming into the Pac-12. And Will Richardson, 4-star guard, you mentioned it. He's going to run the show today for Oak Hill.
That'll be our 3rd game. 2 undefeated teams going at it. Oak Hill and NSU University School from Fort Lauderdale. Quinterly finding Rodriguez underneath. He could not convert.
Quinterly has great instincts, 5 in the white. He is the top uncommitted point guard in the class.
Here's Emmanuel Quickly from deep. Houghton, the offensive rebound. And it drops home. John Carroll finally on the board.
When you watch Emmanuel Quickly, 3 in the black, he does 3 things exceptionally well. He defends with a 6'8" wingspan, he distributes, and he makes open threes. He is the heart and soul of this John Carroll team. He's headed to play for John Calipari at Kentucky.
The first player to commit to Kentucky in this class of 2018. Pass inside, tipped away, stolen. Nigel Houghton looking for Quickly in transition. It's ripped away by Muhammad. Poked away by Houghton, and we've got a timeout with 3:43 remaining in this first quarter. Lewis King, a sizzling start for Hudson Catholic, including the follow-up jam.
Pull together.
Lewis King has all 6 of Hudson Catholic's points to start. It's a 6-2 lead for the Hawks. He's a part of the Oregon Ducks class of 2018. Right now, Oregon ranking 2nd by ESPN.
And last year, the Oregon Ducks had a top 12 class. Dana Altman putting back-to-back classes, highly ranked. 2 5-star players in this class, Bol, and we're seeing Lewis King this afternoon. 2 4-star guys, Will Richardson, Miles Norris. A lot of talent coming to the Ducks. And a lot of scoring ability and length. Bol 7'2", Lewis King 6'8", Miles Norris 6'8", and Will Richardson is a 6'4" point guard. A lot of length, wingspan going west.
Lewis King said what really drew him to Oregon. Dana Altman told him the ball was going to be in your hands. It's going to let you play like you do at the high school level. Not just a wing on the perimeter, but the offense can run through you.
Well, first it's going to be in the hands of Will Richardson, who's going to get it to Lewis King, because I think Will Richardson's going to be the point guard. They have an outstanding small forward right now, Troy Brown. He was a 5-star player last year for Dana Altman.
Well, speaking of Dana Altman and Oregon, part of our ESPN Saturday primetime presented by AT&T. It starts with Kentucky and Florida at Rupp Arena, then Oregon and UCLA. Both games on ESPN, also streaming live on the ESPN app. Kentucky and Florida will also have 2 recruits in our 4 games today here in Springfield.
Andrew Nemhard for Mount Verde. Be the future point guard for Mike White of Florida.
A steal for John Carroll. And Kadir Ismail coming in off the bench. That name might sound familiar. The son of the missile, Kadri Ismail, from a wide receiver, played 10 years in the NFL. King leaking out. He has 8 points for Hudson Catholic. He is the Hawks offense.
How about the efficiency of Lewis King? The catch, 1 dribble, puts it on the deck right to the rim. No wasted motion. That's what you look for with guys scoring the basketball. You look for economy of motion and skill.
Yabuz Kutelkin missing the 3. And King now in double figures. He's got all 10 for Hudson Catholic. Montez Mathis with the travel for John Carroll. A poor start for the Patriots. Lewis King doing it at both ends.
Well, he gets his hands up on defense. Great contest. Shots missed. He took off. Quinterly, beautiful throw ahead. 1 dribble again. Uses the left side of the rim because there's space. Doesn't change his shot. Doesn't change his motion.
That's something that King has had to show that he can do work at both ends. As quickly comes up with the steal for John Carroll. Leaving it for Mathis. The whistle blows. Mathis is going to the line.
And I mentioned it a few minutes ago. What does he need to work on, Lewis King? The assist-to-turnover ratio. He certainly can put points on the board, but you just can't throw a soft floating pass cross-court, let the team go down the other end.
We send it over to Quint Kessenich.
Yeah, I spoke to Lewis yesterday at practice. He said he's working on, obviously, his 3-point shooting, which has been better this year, and his ability to run the floor, and we've seen that early here. He is smooth end-to-end, sensational with those instinct plays, and you see a guy whose potential is being reached, and I still think there's a long way for him to go, endless potential.
Quint, he's a guy who went to 3 different high schools in his career. Freshman year at Roselle Catholic, sophomore year at Pope John. He transferred to Hudson Catholic late in his sophomore year. And his coach, Nick Marinello, said, hey, if you're coming here, you're going to be a student first. Not going to dress until your junior year. He's done everything that the coaching staff has asked. Muhammad triggers the 3.
And I love that extra pass by Lewis King. Muhammad ready to shoot it. Triple threat position when he catches it. Buckeyes in the future.
Mathis with the bucket at the other end for John Carroll. He's got 4. Quinterly churning into the lane. Missed the layup. And it's out to John Carroll.
The Hawks of Hudson Catholic. They have 3 outstanding Division I players. Quinterly, King, and Muhammad. They could be selfish if they want to. I look at the head coach when it comes to that. Nick Marinello does an outstanding job of teaching his players to make the right play and not to always just look for their play. When you get talent that plays unselfish, you can win a lot of games. You can win championships because the chemistry's right.
Mathis, a savvy play, throwing it off the leg of Luther Muhammad when he was in trouble. Fresh 30 for John Carroll. Now, Javon Quinterly said it earlier this season, Paul. Don't sleep on the rest of our team. We're more than just a big 3, the 3 ranked players in the starting lineup.
Oh, no question. Rodriguez, outstanding on the glass, strong and powerful. They got a good supporting cast.
Quinterly backs it out. Quinterly, the floater, left it short. Precious Ikediashi trying to save it. Last touch by John Carroll.
Quinterly can really make that floater. He has the ability to get into the lane, stop on a dime, put the teardrop up. Great scoring instincts, high Q, and he plays the game with confidence. He won't let that play affect his next shot.
Quinterly dishing to King for the three ball. What a first quarter put together by Louis King.
He's got the three ball. He's got the pull-up game. He's strong and powerful and long at the rim. So far, Louis King has been the king in this game.
13 points on 6 of 8 shooting. We've got 10.5 left in this first quarter.
And give his teammates a lot of credit for finding him when he's open Louis King.
And a steal off the inbounds and a foul. Montez Mathis reaching in for John Carroll. And the Rutgers signee picks up the personal.
He's going to be a terrific player, Montez Mathis. For Steve Peichel, just competitive, can score. He's going to finish in transition. He's going to give that team an influx of talent that they need to continue to build in the Big Ten.
Final 8 seconds for Hudson Catholic, already up 10. Quinterly from deep. Shaquille Dezzoni couldn't follow it up, but Hudson Catholic with a double-digit lead after one here at the Spalding Hoop Hall Classic. Next level. In that first quarter, King 6 of 8, but check out the arc on his shot.
When you shoot a basketball, you want to shoot it with an arc of 45 degrees. That helps the jump shot go in the basket at the sweet spot. Louis King has been sweet in the first quarter. 1 3-point shot, the rest in the paint, but in the paint, in transition, in the paint by cutting away from the ball, scoring in different ways, and scoring with versatility. Louis King, number 2 in the white, headed to play for Dana Altman at Oregon.
How about that? All other players in this game have combined for 9 points on 3 of 18 shooting. King's the only one hitting so far. Luther the Muhammad, his teammate, knocks a long jumper. That's for 2 to start this second quarter.
And look at Muhammad. After he makes the pull-up jump shot, gets right in his stance on Emmanuel quickly. Ohio State on Kentucky right now.
It's a fun matchup defensively. Muhammad against Quickly. Montez Mathis has 10 to shoot for John Carroll, launching a 3. Quinterly the outlet, ahead to King. King finding Muhammad, blocked by Mathis. King saves it though. And Shaquille Dezzoni is fouled going up. The big 3 moving it up the floor from Quinterly to King to Muhammad. Dezzoni was there for the follow.
And it all started with the defense of Luther Muhammad, 11 in the white. He picked up Emmanuel quickly at half court. He put so much pressure on quickly that he just gave the ball up, and the offense for John Carroll was not strong. Hudson Catholic pushes and gets to the free throw line.
Nick Marinello, Hudson Catholic's head coach, told us he was so impressed by Muhammad last year when he locked up against Colin Sexton, of course now a star at Alabama. That was at the City of Palms tournament in Florida. Sexton, top 10 player in the ESPN 100 a year ago.
And Muhammad's in the ESPN 100 because he's ultra competitive. Great defender, good pull-up jump shooter.
The lead is 20-6 for Marinello's team. A little pressure from Hudson Catholic.
Yeah, they went to a 2-2-1 just to eat into the shot clock. That's right above the game clock in case the country's wondering. We do play with a shot clock here in Massachusetts.
30 seconds, thank goodness.
And now John Carroll into their offense with 7 seconds.
Down to 5 for Quickly. Guarded by Quinterly this time, down to 2. King, the deflection and the steal. Ahead to Muhammad for the slam.
They got to set a ball screen right here on Luther Muhammad, a back screen. Just got to loosen him up, get him off of Emmanuel quickly.
Mathis catch and shoot. Around and out. Outlet pass was deflected, nearly stolen by Brandon Craig. Hudson Catholic takes it. Muhammad from mid-range. He has been money from that distance. John Carroll and head coach John Zito calling a timeout. Hudson Catholic has scored the first 8 points of this second quarter.
Well, it's been the defense of Hudson Catholic. That time Lewis King in the passing lane. The push ahead. Muhammad with the flush. Hudson Catholic all over John Carroll, both defensively and offensively. On the floor for loose balls. Lewis King hitting the ground. Dana Altman loves that. And Luther Muhammad loves that rhythm dribble pull-up. Made one from the left side, one from the right side.
Well, for more on Muhammad, we send it over to Quint.
Well, I think fans are seeing the tempo and the pace that Luther Muhammad can play at. It was like that yesterday at practice, relentlessly working. Love his defensive posture. He's vocal with his teammates. He's a leader on the floor. But he does it with a smile, which is really what I like, Ted and Paul. This is a guy who enjoys working hard.
That's how he became a ranked player in the ESPN 100. No question about it.
Muhammad ranked.
Muhammad slashing in, and he goes glass for 2 more. So Muhammad now in double digits with 11. John Carroll has been stagnant offensively in his first half, to say the least. Quickly trying to give them some life. That's a 3.
Well, he's the heart and soul and the leader of John Carroll's team. They move quickly. 3 in the black. Headed to Kentucky. He's going to be excellent for John Calipari in pick and roll action. When the defense goes under, he can stop behind the screen and knock it down deep.
Quickly settled right back in after missing the first 8 games with mono. Muhammad, the crossover. 3-pointer is way off. Will tech in the rebound for John Carroll. Quickly sprinting ahead. And it'll stay at this end. ESPN's next NBA Wednesday, presented by State Farm doubleheader, features the Lakers and the Thunder.
Terrific outside shooter. Strong on-ball defender.
Quickly, a quick 5 points. Couldn't finish the 3-point play. Muhammad, nifty move. He's got 13.
Yeah, he's terrific in transition, the pull-up game. That 3-point shot we saw earlier, a little bit out of his range right now, but I'll tell you what, he is a lock-up defender.
Muhammad has scored the last 8 points for Hudson Catholic.
Well, Muhammad takes it. That's behind the 3-point line. 2 dribbles right to the rack.
How about the hang time? So Muhammad taking over this second quarter like Lewis King took over the first quarter.
Look how verbal he is right now with his teammates, Luther Muhammad. He's talking matchups. Who goes in for who? Who's covering who?
And now Muhammad draws the assignment again on Emmanuel quickly.
He's hard to go by.
Mathis D'd up by Lewis King. 7 to shoot. Mathis tipped it home.
And if Luther Muhammad's going to take Emmanuel quickly out of the game, somebody else for John Carroll, Montez Mathis will have to take the ball and start making plays.
Well, Mathis is actually John Carroll's leading scorer on the season.
But Emmanuel quickly gets their team into offense, but they're not running offense today against Hudson Catholic.
9 to shoot. And Muhammad throws it away right between Quinterly and King. A rare mistake for Hudson Catholic, up 14.
Hey everyone, I'm here with the A.Paris Rescue.
Solid so far what Chris Holtman is building.
We got 4 total recruits, 2 ESPN 100s. He got those guys, Chris Holtman, before he even coached a game with the Buckeyes.
Muhammad keeping the possession alive with an offensive rebound. And Hudson Catholic will inbound from the baseline.
This is a guy you want in practice every day because he's going to bring the energy. He's going to give energy to his teammates. Now, he's got to get better, but I'll tell you what, that defense, you don't see defense like that at this level. Walking into the doors at the Schottenstein Center with that type of defense is going to get him a lot of playing time.
Here's Louis King with 13 points, a tomahawk for the future Oregon Duck.
A lot of movement on that possession, which cleared the lane for Louis King. Reads the game so well. 2 in the white.
Pass with a lot of mustard on it from Mathis, turned it over. John Carroll got it back, and Mathis lays it in.
John Carroll needed easy basket. They need to get a little pep in their step. They need to put some resistance to Hudson Catholic. Maybe get a few runouts. Certainly have to get a few stops.
John Carroll shooting just 33% as a team.
I'll tell you what, Hudson Catholic is playing a great two-way game there. They are defending. What a pass.
Muhammad inside to Dezzoni. Dezzoni going back up, and the foul is called.
We see the fake handoff by Louis King goes right to the rim. You see Quinley coming off, decides not to give it to him. That's a read. Sees the lane. Tremendous vision to score the ball and to pass it. He just can't get so lazy with his passes. This guy could be all big Pac-12, excuse me, for Dana Altman.
King plays on the same summer team with Cam Reddish, the #3 player in the ESPN 100, who we will see in the final game of our quadruple header when the Westtown School meets IMG Academy.
And part of that team final program run by Rob Brown. Outstanding program every year in the Nike EYBL. They compete at a high level.
Dezzoni does his work at the line. Now 32-16 Hudson Catholic late in his first half. Mathis fires. King on the run out. And knocked around. Hudson Catholic keeps it. Shaquille Dezzoni going up. Kadir Ismail clears it. Yet again, Luther Muhammad versus Emmanuel Quickly.
And if Quickly gets some space, just like he has now, he can run some actions. But Muhammad takes that space away so quickly, he gives it up.
Quickly was bumped. Foul is called with just under 2 minutes.
I'll tell you what you do against a defender like Luther Muhammad. A, you can screen him. B, you can use your retreat dribble, which means you back up, create some space, and then re-attack. You have to eliminate Luther Muhammad from ball hawking Emmanuel Quickly.
Otherwise, he's in his jersey. That's been the case all first half.
He's in a lot of places. And he's not leaving. So screen him, ball screen him, back screen him, and use your retreat dribble.
Quickly setting up Nigel Houghton, could not hit it from the corner.
This team is so well coached by Nick Marinello. They don't put their foot on the brake.
Dezzoni reverse layup for Hudson Catholic. That's the first Hudson field goal made by a player outside of King or Muhammad. How about that?
And see, that time the foul on Muhammad, 11 in the white. Because somebody set a screen for Emmanuel Quickly. Quickly cut. There's the foul. Look at the push by Muhammad. Beautiful slip pass. Great finish.
Dezzoni, a senior who has a full academic scholarship from Wesleyan University in Connecticut.
Oh, they're going to love him at the small college level.
Mathis got it back after the pass was tipped. And a foul is called. We send it over to Quint Kesenick.
You mentioned Dezzoni wants to be a lawyer. Full academic ride to Wesleyan, as you said. I asked Coach Marinello, who's he most proud of on this entire roster? He goes, Shaquille. Academic scholarship, ability to play basketball, but well beyond that. Potential law degree someday.
And Quint, Marinello was telling us earlier in the week that he deserves a look from an Ivy League school. Firmly believes that Dezzoni is a Division I player, not just Division III.
He's got the body of a Division I player. Wide shoulders. He's really super strong for a high school athlete.
He's got that girth inside. Nick Marinello told us the other day on the phone, we want to win the Tournament of Champions. We want to win the state championship, and I want every kid to qualify for college. That's his goals each and every year. Those are great goals for a head coach in high school.
Final minute of the first half. A steal by Montez Mathis. And a foul at midcourt. It's on Lewis King. That's King's second. And John Carroll is in the bonus. So it'll be 1-1 for Mathis.
Lewis King heading to the bench. No reason to keep him out there with the lead. 17. Less than a minute to go to pick up his third.
Nick Marinella's team was ranked 8th in the preseason by USA Today. A couple of early losses. They dropped out. They are unranked at the moment.
Well, he thinks when his team defends, they could be as good as any team in the country. They can be pretty special, I can tell you that, because they have the scoring punch, the scoring power because of the three players, Muhammad, King, and Quinterly. Great supporting cast, but when they do defend, boy, they are tough to play against.
Marinella says he's a defense-first guy. You can tell just looking at Luther Muhammad the way he can defend. But for a 2-hour practice, an hour and 35 minutes are devoted to defense. That's what he told us.
Because he's smart enough to know he's got enough talent that can score. They've come out on all cylinders defensively.
Dezzoni. Offensive rebound and a foul underneath. Shane, an impressive performance in this first half by Hudson Catholic from Jersey City. A 34-19 lead.
And it's been the Lewis King show. 2 in the white, headed to Oregon. He's been outstanding, scoring the ball from different spots on the floor. He came out ready to play.
Luther Muhammad has done his part as well, and he's with Quinn.
Luther, you draw the Emmanuel quickly covering responsibility. What's that like?
Basically, it's what we do to every team in the country. Like everyone we play, we like to. I take it personally. I like to guard the best player on the team and make it my responsibility to contain him and make someone else beat us. So my job today is just to guard him and just make someone else beat us.
How do you best describe that defensive mentality?
Just being competitive. I'm a straight out competitor. I love to compete.
We see that. Great job.
Thanks.
Ted.
Yeah, he's held.
5 top 100 prospects on the floor in this first half, and 2 of them really showing out. It's Hudson Catholic with a 34-19 lead on John Carroll. Lewis King, Luther Muhammad combined 28 of the 34 points for Hudson Catholic. Welcome into halftime, Matt Schick, Adam Finkelstein, and Jeff Borzello. Let's hit on the Oregon signee, Lewis King. First scored the first 10 points. What do you like about him?
Yeah, this is what we've been seeing since last spring. I mean, he's a combo forward. He can play the 3 or the 4, and he can flat out score the basketball. I mean, he shoots it with range. He's very good in transition, as we've seen. And what I like today, he's defending as well. That's what I'm most impressed about in the first half.
15 points, had a follow dunk as well from Lewis King as we look at some first half highlights. We also got to see Luther Muhammad getting it down on the offensive end, but defensively, you heard his interview with Quinn, really heating up quickly.
Yeah, that's what he's going to bring to Ohio State is he's a two-way player. I mean, he's going to lock down defensively. He loves playing defense, and then the offensive end, he could play both guard positions. He could score on his own, and as we saw in the first half, he could also create. I think he had 3 assists in that first half. So two-way player, and he's going to buy into what Chris Holtman's doing at Ohio State.
And Emmanuel quickly, the number 3 point guard headed to Kentucky. He's got 5 points here at the half. Much more to
tag team combination of Lewis King and Luther Muhammad, unbeatable so far for Hudson Catholic.
And Lewis King's done it with his offense. He has such natural scoring tools, the combination of length, size, and versatility. He's hard to stop. At 6'8", nice cut to the basket, finishes with the left hand in the lane. In the open floor, the long reach, the swoop, and the finish. Muhammad running the floor for transition points, doesn't give up on the play. He scored in a variety of ways. He's knocked down the three-point shot. And how about that read? Ted Emmerich with the flush.
And we'll take a look at the first half stats brought to you by Geico. The shot chart for Lewis King. 6 of 8 from two-point range, 1 of 2 from outside the arc, 15 points to lead all scorers. And Luther Muhammad, his teammate, right behind with a big second quarter. He has 13.
And you love the efficiency by King, but Muhammad knocking down.
King and Muhammad have combined for 28 of Hudson Catholic's 34 points. A look at Muhammad's shot chart.
I love the variety. 4 inside the arc, 2 inside the arc, 2 inside the paint, and 1 from the basketball.
So a 15-point lead. John Carroll with Kentucky signing Emmanuel Quickley at the point. Just 5 points on 2 of 5 shooting. No assists in the first half. Well, knocked around. It'll stay with John Carroll. How do the Patriots from Bel Air, Maryland get back in it?
Well, honestly, they have to make some stops because they give up 34 points in 16 minutes. That's the first thing. They got to take a stand. And I think everything offensively has to be that, to the rim. And if you miss, crash the offensive glass. They got to give points in the paint first, not rely on the jump shot. How about Quinterly?
Javon Quinterly, his first basket, his first points here today. The number 23 player in the ESPN 100.
The thing I love about Quinterly is he loves to make the assist. But this guy wants to score buckets too, and he can. Part of that Jelly family. A little finger roll that time.
That is jelly right there. That's how you gain invitation to the Jelly fam. 3 finger rolls in 1 game.
I could go for a jelly donut right now.
There are a few Dunkin' out here.
A few Dunkin' Donuts in Massachusetts.
Just a few. Ismail with the layup for John Carroll. We head over to Quint Kesenick.
Ted, that third foul on Luther Muhammad may open things up for Emmanuel Quickley at the point. They'll have to change the matchup. And Quickley, who was really stagnated, John Zito said they were robotic on offense, thinking too much, not setting crisp screens. Let's see if Quickley has more success now that this matchup is different.
No doubt, Quint, as Danny Rodriguez made the layup for Hudson Catholic. Hawton off the mark from 3. King the rebound, poked away. Montez Mathis has it. Mathis. Hawton missing. Mathis gaining it again. And John Carroll can reset quickly. King finally with the rebound to close it out.
A lot of life though right now with John Carroll. And that's what you want to see to start the second half.
Wembley trip, no whistle. Mathis ends up with the steal for John Carroll. And Brandon Craig from Tennessee follows it up.
Coach John Zito fired up his troops at the half. Watch this offensive possession by Hudson Catholic. You see Quinterly with the basketball. He's going to get it and come off a ball screen right here. Watch this ball screen he utilizes. Strings out the defense. Beautiful. The kick to Lewis King, and King right inside with the assist. The navigation, the operation of Javon Quinterly to take 2 defenders with him, find the open man. It's beautiful.
Quinterly is taking a back seat in the scoring department, but he's still the engine of this team.
He reads the game so well.
Quinterly, the dime to Rodriguez.
We're talking about reading the game. Quinterly comes in with that quick little shovel pass. He can see the next play before it happens.
Third assist for Jelly JQ as Nigel Houghton floats it in for John Carroll.
Yeah, the next step for Javon Quinterly, he's got to get stronger and become a much better defender, because right now 5 in the white is outstanding offensively, but he is not committed to the defensive end.
King stepping into the 3. Quinterly set him up. Made basket. John Carroll trying to move it ahead. And last touch by Hudson Catholic. King now with 18 points.
Watch Javon Quinterly get in the lane. When it comes to offense, no problem. He sees 3 guys, the quick drop off, the quick Jelly fam dime. And how about that last play? Takes 2 off the pick and roll, finds Lewis King.
King triggers it ahead. Luther Muhammad on the break. Muhammad bottled up by Ismail. And out of bounds to Hudson Catholic.
Watch Javon Quinterly. Freeze it right there. He has 2 defenders on him. The ball screen defender and his defender. What does he do? Gets rid of it quickly to his main man, Lewis King, for 3. That's how you read pick and roll defense. You feel yours, you see his, and you make the play.
Quinterly shooting over quickly. It's an air ball for John Carroll.
This kick This kid, Javon Quinterly, all the tools offensively and basketball IQ-wise. He can shoot it from the outside. He's got to get in the stance and stay there and take a stand defensively to become that next level point guard.
Now quickly over Quinterly, who misses the three at this end. Quinterly, the number 3 ranked point guard in the senior class. He's the number 4. Quickly's ranked 3rd at that position in this senior class. Hawks pass deflected by Muhammad and the steal.
Tell you what, Muhammad is everywhere defensively, active with those hands. That deflection makes a stop. With Lewis King last possession, careless with the ball. That assisted turnover has to get better.
And Muhammad is fouled, heading to the bucket, and we've reached an official timeout. Hudson Catholic, the big lead here in Springfield.
Helen, don't you know Little Caesars has the extra most asbestos for $6?
$6? I gotta sit down.
Yeah, it has the most cheese and pepperoni for the nation's best price.
Most cheese and most pepperoni? I gotta sit all the way down.
Well, Javon Quinterly isn't shooting it well, but he is still setting up his teammates for Hudson Catholic.
He plays the game with great offensive confidence, instincts, and understanding when the defense helps. Somebody's open. Beautiful dime he drops. And how about the pick and roll offense? Drags 2, drops it back to Lewis King for the 3. He understands spacing, he understands timing. An exceptional offensive point guard.
Quinterly just 2 points, but 4 assists for Hudson Catholic, which leads by 18 here in the 3rd quarter. Committed to Arizona in August on ESPNU at Steph Curry's Select Showcase in San Francisco, but he backed out after assistant Book Richardson was arrested. Of course, the FBI investigation into corruption in college basketball. Quinterly's really tabled the recruiting since then. No visits, but there are 5 schools specifically that have really been in contact with him: Villanova, Rutgers, Seton Hall, Georgetown, and Oklahoma.
And when you look at his recruiting, when he committed to Arizona, Villanova was a finalist. So I have to believe they may be a favorite second time around.
Quinterly, the spin move and the finish out of the timeout.
Jalen Brunson. Jay Wright is having an outstanding career. Quinterly could step in.
John Carroll shooting just 30% as a team. It's been a tough day for Emmanuel Quickly, the future Kentucky Wildcat, trapped at midcourt. Finding Nigel Houghton, though, for the layup. Nice vision from Quickly.
Quickly is an outstanding point guard offensively as well. Distributes, makes the open 3. At 6'3", he can come off a ball screen and see what's happening. He's got good size, terrific positional size for Quickly. He loves to get people involved.
Quinterly, oh, fake the pass and the finger roll. More jelly from Jelly JQ.
Little hot dog with that jelly. But that's his game.
That's how you like your hot dogs, as Quickly nails the 3 with jelly on them, not mustard. That's disgusting. It's like Jeff Goodman eating mayonnaise with his hot dog in Lithuania.
Javon Quinterly coming to life offensively a little bit. The drive, the spin, beautiful left hand. And then he drives to the rim this time. Same move with that left hand. But how about the fake pass, the step through? He's got that little arc that he puts on it. We talk about the jelly fam, the finger roll. When he gets up there, he can lay it over the defense, nice and soft up in the rim.
Over to Quint.
Yeah, Javon combines that flashy New York City style with the New Jersey toughness. He's from Hackensack. Yesterday told me, books and ball, I just got to follow the right path. His dreams are of the NBA. I said, why? He said, for my family.
Well, the 2017 Gatorade Player of the Year last year in New Jersey. Averaged 20 points a game, but he can really see the game offensively with his passing vision. He's that dual threat point guard.
Also the MVP of the Under Armour Summer Circuit last year.
Yeah, played his grassroots basketball for Sports U.
Quickly takes it back for John Carroll. 2 to shoot. Oh, they had to hurry, and the extra pass by Craig costs John Carroll. ESPN Saturday Primetime presented by AT&T. First, Florida and Kentucky in Lexington at 8:15. Then UCLA and Oregon. Both games also streaming live on the ESPN app. Florida.
Kentucky 4-1 in the SEC, so a battle for first place. I love the season that Chris Chiozza is having. He was a former ESPN1
game with the #1 ranked high school team in the country, Montverde Academy from Florida. Of course, they have the #1 player in the senior class, R.J. Barrett. Now, the officials are taking a look if there was a change of possession in this case, as Nick Marinello receives the explanation. We'll take another look. As that ball deflected before Quickly got it.
Yeah, it was
in the back court.
Yep.
Yeah, sure was. So John Carroll ball with 15 to shoot as Craig inbounds to Mathis. Montez Mathis going to Rutgers, hanging and hitting.
John Carroll came out strong in the second half, but Hudson Catholic just responded. They have not took their foot off the gas pedal in this game.
Tazzoni lost it. Here comes Emmanuel Quickly. A little contact and leaning, and Quickly knocks it down. He's got 10.
And that's the size. Quickly 6'3".
A steal. Craig with the layup. John Carroll now within 13, and a timeout for Hudson Catholic.
Well, now John Carroll in striking distance. Emmanuel Quickly with that beautiful floater. And it all came from their defense. They're staying engaged, they're staying aware, they're staying alert defensively. The steal, the push. Watch Quickly in the open floor. Goes right, squares the shoulders, beautiful touch. Then on the inbounds play, another steal for John Carroll. And Hudson Catholic must be careful not to play the score, but play the game. When you start seeing you're up 15, 17, 19, at 16, 17 years old, you have a tendency to relax.
Emmanuel Quickly now with 10 points. For more on Quickly, over to Quint.
Signed with drums in a church band. He's kind of the anti-hype Kentucky recruit, believe it or not. Just a super charismatic kid.
Yeah. Played with Team USA over the summer, the under-19 squad that won the bronze medal, losing to Canada in the semifinals. His teammate, Lewis King, on the other side, and of course his coach, John Calipari.
And that was a great chance for John Calipari and Emmanuel Quickly to get to know each other, not so much recruit each other, but just get to know each other, see if it was a good fit.
King, meanwhile, now with 22.
Oh, nice.
Quickly leaning in. That drops in, plus the foul.
Quickly has just enough quickness off the bounce to get into the lane. He plays angles very well. Look at that left shoulder, gets nice and low, right past Quinterly with the length.
In that under-19 squad for Team USA, we'll see Cam Reddish in our 4th and final game here today with the Westtown School from Pennsylvania, #3 player in the ESPN 100.
I'll tell you what, Emmanuel Quickly reminds me a little bit of Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, who's at Kentucky right now. Not quite as tall. Gilgeous-Alexander, 6'5"-ish. Same type of player, makes the open threes, makes the assist, and can defend.
King late in the shot clock. King the contact. And the foul with 2 left on the timer.
I love the aggressiveness that Lewis King has come out with in this game. When he catches the ball, he's in a triple threat. That means he's in a position to drive, pass, or shoot it. He looks up at the rim, he sees the opening, and then makes the attack. And a lot of guys just put their head down, head and go. We see that in high school basketball all the time. Lewis King reads the game offensively.
King started so well here today, 13 points in the first quarter for Hudson Catholic. And Luther Muhammad took over. A lot of Javon Quinterly here in the 3rd.
Yeah, Lewis King got them going offensively. Luther Muhammad kept them going defensively. He was outstanding, 11 in the white.
King subs out. Final 38 seconds of the third quarter. Quinterly the deflection, quickly gathers it back in for John Carroll. Elite point guard versus elite point guard in the senior class. Quickly the step. Gultekin chases it down. Shot clock turned off. Down low, Byers. And the foul goes against Danny Rodriguez of Hudson Catholic.
Cameron Byers just willed that up to the basket.
Byers as a 10th grader.
Good-looking prospect, great body. That's going to be a college-ready body by the time he becomes a senior. The skill level is the next step. Without losing that aggressiveness and that productivity in the paint. You can't lose that just because you start working on your jumper.
10 seconds. Here comes Javon Quinterly. Guarded by Quickly. Quinterly putting on the moves. Looking inside to Dezzoni and out of bounds with 1/10 of a second.
And the spacing was horrible on that play.
Quickly does not have time to launch it with just 1/10, and Hudson Catholic heads to the fourth with a 53-38 lead. The big three has come to play for Hudson Catholic, including point guard Javon Quinterly.
Headed to Georgia Tech. We mentioned Andrew Nembhard headed to Florida, where 5 Division I high major players start. 5 Division I high major guys come off the bench.
They've got ranked players coming off the bench at Montverde.
I really think the second 5 from Montverde could be ranked in the top 25 if they were their own high school team.
Wow. Now here in our first game, Hudson Catholic from New Jersey, a 53-38 over John Carroll, north of Baltimore. Lewis King, future Oregon Duck, 24 points to lead all scorers. King with the steal now, wearing 2 in the white. In transition, Shane Dezzoni, the step and the bucket.
Dezzoni with the basket. Muhammad with the assist.
Hudson Catholic has led the whole way. Emmanuel Quickly, the Kentucky signee with the triple. He's up to 15.
One of the most important things you can do on offense is create space. The shot fake lifts the defender, creates the space necessary, quickly knocks it down.
Muhammad off balance, he throws it in.
He's just going to come at you all game, defensively, offensively.
We've got a timeout here early in the fourth quarter. Hudson Catholic has led by as many as 20. Take a time. Emmanuel Quickly, how do you think he will fit in at Kentucky, potentially with returning players? This is a Kentucky class from a year ago, freshman now, of course, with Big Blue, that there might not be as many one-and-dones as Kentucky has seen in years past.
No, but I still think they'll be maybe close to a handful. You think about Shea Gilgeous-Alexander maybe playing himself into a one-and-done. Hamidou Diallo, Knox, maybe P.J. Washington. And let's not forget Jared Vanderbilt. He's still going to come back for Kentucky this year. He's going to make a big difference down the stretch, February and into March. But he is one-and-done material. Whether or not he'll go, nobody knows. But Emmanuel Quickly can fit into any roster because he's a quiet leader, but he's a leader. He knows to get others involved first. And when you go to Kentucky, if you can get other people involved first, you'll be well liked.
And he'll love to get Keldon Johnson involved. You saw Kentucky's class of 2018 at the moment. Johnson, a top 10 player in this senior class. We will see him and Oak Hill coming up in our third game today.
And they have another 4-star prospect, Tyler Hero, 6'5" shooting guard from Wisconsin. So a lot of firepower coming in for the Wildcats on the perimeter.
Muhammad splitting the defense for 2 more. He's got 17.
Look at him hound. See, he hounded Quickly so much, he just gave up the ball.
Ismail, a short hook. Kadir Ismail coming off the bench, future quarterback at Villanova. stands 6'7", 6'8". He's a dual threat as well. Now quickly matched up on Quinterly. 8 to shoot. Muhammad, the crossover. And the pass is stolen. Montez Mathis. Mathis, the layup. In front of his soon-to-be head coach, Steve Peichel of Rutgers. And that forces a timeout with 5:16 remaining.
Well, Montez Mathis, right place, Quint, like he's doing today with Emmanuel Quickly.
Nick Marinello, his head coach, thinks he's going to be one of the best two-way players in his class as he moves to the college level.
I'll tell you what Luther Muhammad does, 11 in the white. He makes you play him as a coach. You have to put him on the floor. It's the energy, competitiveness, defense, the offensive capability. You find minutes for guys like Luther Muhammad.
5 to shoot. Quinterly. From long range, it's short. King with the rebound. And a fresh 30 seconds.
That was a key defensive rebound for John Carroll. It was a point-blank miss. You got to get that and run off of that three-point shot.
Instead, another minute will probably come off the clock. Muhammad, the attack. Mathis could not secure it. And it's still Hudson Catholic ball.
And John Zito, the head coach at John Carroll, goes back and looks at the film. Those two possessions will be big. Down 14, Hudson Catholic misses twice. You don't get the defensive rebound.
That shot didn't touch the rim, so 6 to shoot for the Hawks. Quinterly inbounds. King, the quick three. And quickly controls it for John Carroll. Mathis got past Quinterly, knocked out of his hands by King, out of bounds.
And how about quickly with the throw-ahead pass? The great point guards get rid of the ball quickly, if you will.
Well done.
And he looks up the floor as well as any point guard in the class, and he'll make that throw-ahead pass.
I thought you would say that more in this game. Quickly, everything but the finish. 4 minutes to go. And a 14-point lead for Hudson Catholic, which is led wire to wire.
You're expecting way too much out of me today.
Not enough puns from you, Paul.
Great pass.
Beautiful find. Shaquille Dezzoni with the layup.
And look at Luther Muhammad. He is still dogging Quickly. 11 in the white. Left of your screen. He's not letting him touch the ball.
Mathis. Well, knocked around. He got it back. Trying to bounce it. And the steal by who else? Muhammad.
Hey,
Dezzoni lost it.
You don't have to set his alarm clock in the morning.
Mathis scoops it home. It has been a rough 32 minutes for Emmanuel Quickly. Been beat up by Muhammad all day.
So for all the kids watching out there, you want to be a better player than you are, commit and invest the defense. It pays off.
Here is Muhammad. Number 94 in the ESPN 100, leaning into a three, and quickly wipes the glass clean. Down low, Craig, and fouled by Quinterly with 2:43 to go. Hudson Catholic in control.
The Geico ESPN High School Basketball Showcase at the Spalding Hoop Hall Classic is brought to you by Geico.
Gray area inside the rim. That's the sweet spot that you want to hit, the back end of the rim. The percentage goes up as you get over the rim deeper.
Well, who is behind that technology? Quint Kesenick, who's with him. And we'll join Quint here in just a moment as Hudson Catholic with 2:20 remaining. A double-digit lead for the Hawks from Jersey City. Muhammad fires it inside to King. The layup plus the foul. King has been dominant here today.
And his teammate, Luther Muhammad, look at that triple threat. Pass, drive, or shoot it. Finds his open man. Louis King's excited. Luther Muhammad's excited.
32 points, but you got off to a great start. What do you think enabled you to come out firing right away?
I mean, I think it just started from the warm-ups. My pregame warm-ups, I got my shots up. It just led over to the game. I just took over.
What type of player are Oregon fans going to see next year?
A versatile player that can shoot, dribble, and assist for. Yo, get out of here.
What did this game mean for you guys?
It meant a lot. Just a big win on a big stage. You know, it's an honor to be here at the Boston Hall of Fame. I just want to thank my teammates and my family. And then I just want to thank God for everything he did for me.
Thank you to all here on the set. Look at some of the top performers here. Again, the two on the left, you saw them before our coverage began. That was earlier this weekend. Zion was terrific, #2 overall prospect. We saw King, we saw Carey, we saw Reddish. Guys, who stood out to you? Who was the man?
You know, I think that you look at guys, Vern Carey to me really made a statement. I mean, I walk away here saying, okay, we're seeing something now. I mean, the last time I saw him was in October at USA Basketball. He was good, but I still had some reservations about his motor. His motor looked fantastic today. His productivity was undeniable, and the versatility was on full display.
He is only 16 years old. He'll turn 17 next month. Jeff, who stood out to you?
I think it's Lewis King. I think that he's just a complete offensive player. I mean, he seemed motivated, he seemed focused, he seemed locked in today, and I think that's important for him going forward. When he's on his game, he's one of the best scorers in the country, and I think we saw that today. He just makes shots on the perimeter, he's getting to the rim, and like I said, he's grown. He's about 6'8", 6'9" now, and I just think that gives him an edge against most of the guys defending him.
Some of our top performers from this weekend in the Hoop Hall Classic.
With a lob to Garnett, and he drops it in. And he hammers it in with the right hand. Howard White goes up and stuffs. Durant with a 3-ball from out front. That's in. LeBron on a breakout jam.
That's what we're going to talk about.
It is time to announce the McDonald's All-American Team rosters. This is so cool. We get to do this on the jump. Starting with the boys East team, you can see R.J. Barrett, #1 ranked player in the ESPN 100. He is, of course, headed to Duke. The top undecided player on ESPN's 100 is Zion Williamson, you know, YouTube sensation. He is scheduled to make his decision this weekend.
Great NBA name, just saying.
Right? And here's the boys West team, Cam Reddish from Norristown, Pennsylvania, the 3rd ranked player in the ESPN 100. He's also going to Duke. And Bol shout out, the son of one of my favorite former NBA players, Manute Bol, rest in peace, is the 4th ranked player in his class, and he is headed to Oregon. Shout out, Bol. All right, those were the boys' teams. Let's look at the girls'